And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition here of the OSC Elite Rising Star number 19, day 5. I'm of course your side VIP, which I'm joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chats as well. Welcome one and all. We returned with something special. This tournament is dedicated to the up-and-coming players in the scene and in the region. Again, for players that are maybe a little bit too high-ranked, players like Cyril, Rainer, Clem, Maru, Hero, Classic, Björn, players that have achieved too high placements in some of these bigger premier tournaments are ineligible for this event. This is for the up-and-coming talent, the Rising Stars, if you will. Let's go. Let us go. Again, this is day 5 of the event. Every week we do cover, 6 to 7 matches. A lot of series do occur throughout the course of the tournament. A lot of matches to be played, especially in the lower bracket. We will get there. We'll get there, man. We'll get there. Aye. So again, massive bracket, massive tournaments, and we will soon be jumping in. One moment here. Also, I did want to give a bit of a, did want to apologize a little bit here, just because we did miss out on some casts over the weekend. If you're a part of our Discord server, you would have heard, but we were supposed to co-stream RSL over the weekend, RSL the playoff semis, finals, and on Saturday and Sunday. But unfortunately, something did occur Friday night, so that would have been, Friday night, right after the pond cast. I was talking about the patches. Unfortunately, did notice something was wrong with Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi was one of her bunnies when we rushed to the hospital. And thankfully everything was taken care of. Basically, she was suffering from GI stasis. Basically, right after broadcasting the patch notes, like I went in there to check on them, and she wasn't eating, and we were concerned. And thankfully, we went to the hospital. She stayed there for like 48 hours or so, and now she's back with us, and she's slowly recovering. She's recovering. Thankfully, we only have one cast today. We don't have a cast this evening, so I will have that evening available to look after her. But she is recovering, but again, things happened over the weekend. That's why we didn't cast RSL. I also did notice that the GSL cast yesterday was cut short. The power went out, unfortunately, so we'll have to show that, I guess, before the next finals stream. We'll try to figure it out. We'll try to piece it all together here. But due to what's going on, our schedule is going to be a little bit leaner than usual. To quickly hopping on over, but our schedule is obviously full, as it typically is, and we're going to try to cut back a little bit here and there on certain casts, just to make sure that I can look after the bunnies. But that'll be the plan later on. For now, though, we're focusing on OSC. We're focusing on our broadcast. We're jumping to game 1. Game 1 is going to be between Shameless and UedSoldier. Let's go. It's going to be a PvP in the upper brackets. Let's go. Let us go. Bearing in mind the winner of the series faces off against Siege Machine in the next round. Let us go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the green Protoss player, the green Protoss player himself, representing Team Little Fairy. It is UedSoldier. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player, representing Team Stouty Balls. It is Shameless. Let's go. Let us go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Best of luck, buddy. Best of luck. As we are jumping into our fresh best of 3. Again, this is going to be the upper bracket of the tournament, and then after this, we'll be jumping down to the lower brackets. When it comes to our upcoming matches here, we have UedSoldier versus Shameless. We have Baby Marine versus Rebellion, Sebestis versus Art, and Piant versus Mini Zerg. That'll be the first half of the broadcast. Then, bam, we got 3 more matches after that. A lot of matches, a lot of StarCraft. Let's go. Now we have our PvP, and it's going to be an interesting battle here. As Shameless, he's one of the favorite players to take the entire tournament alongside Siege Machine. Shameless, he was our previous reigning champion, but UedSoldier, if you remember, he is Shameless's replacement. For a very, very long time, Shameless was on Team Little Fairy. Shameless recently, a couple of months ago, did end up joining Stouty Balls, and Little Fairy, to replace Shameless, they did end up picking up UedSoldier to replace Shameless when it comes to all the Chinese tournaments and Chinese team leagues that Little Fairy does compete in. To the point where UedSoldier, I would say, is now the new ace player on Little Fairy. Still a ways to go. You know, the shoes that were left behind are quite big to fill, and UedSoldier is doing his best to do so. And again, he's doing fairly well in the Chinese team leagues. But again, Shameless is still a bit of a tier above, or at least currently is. And we'll see if UedSoldier can prove himself as nice. He gets scattered, he gets found out. Shameless does confirm the pylon location. So big scout here, and with that the probe is denied. The goal here should have been proxy Stargate. Instead we have a rover back at home. We can still go for a one base all in, but it's going to be delayed. It's going to be a delayed one base all in here, as the initial plan was disrupted. Oof. So rough moment for UedSoldier. I will see if he goes for a third gateway behind this to commit into the all in, or whether he tries to macro from here. He still has the option. Still does have the option. I should also remind everyone as well that this tournament is played, of course, on the regular base game. We spoke about this on Friday, but a bunch of tournaments are going to be taking place on the PTR. I can say with certainty, of course, our tournaments are going to be in the PTR. So Sparkling Tunic Cup, Sea Duckling Open, and Master Swan Open. All of our tournaments will be on said PTR. Likewise, I believe other events are going to be doing so as well. I spoke with SC Boy and those working on Kung Fu Cup, and that should also be on the PTR. I would imagine that Stegosaurus alongside TKL with Monday Night Weekly and Pegasus Cup respectively will be doing the same, but I can only speculate on that. We'll most likely reach out to them a little bit later on as well. If that would be the case, then Monday Night Weekly will be the first Open Cup on the PTR, and then that'll be followed by Sparkling Tunic Cup, which will be the next Open Cup on the PTR, or by Kung Fu Cup as well, or Sacred Cup. But again, the PTR tournaments are on the horizon. They're coming. Until then, we can enjoy our base game. Vanilla StarCraft is behind this. We have not expanded. We're committing on one base. We are committing across the map here, and we're making our way to the main. So far, Shameless out of position, actually. Okay. Shameless is here on the low ground. Behind this, going Stargate to Oracle. The drop does get into the main, and we'll get some probes. And we'll disrupt some mining. Gets one. One probe so far. We're buying time here for the rest of the reinforcements. The Prism is going to be focused down. Okay, the Prism. Ooh, the Prism takes a lot of hits. Takes a lot of damage, and the Prism, it's going to be zoned away. It has to abandon this army. It does catch a second probe. We're going to 4. 4 probes going down. Not bad. But I mean, it's a 1-to-1 trade. It's a 1-to-1 trade here. That was 2 adepts in the Stalker for 5 workers in total. At the same time, the Oracle does poke in across the map. Doesn't get much damage done here as the army is in position, thankfully. But UedSoldier is pinned back, and he's still one base all in. Bear that in mind. Shameless back at home. He should be working towards Phoenixes. Oh, my apologies. Going for his own defensive immortal production. Okay. Once he has enough resources for it, he can get a Phoenix as well. That would be ideal to zone away the Prism and to lift up Immortals. We'll see. Stays strapped into the main base. UedSoldier does react. Despite that, still within range, and oh, that's still going to be 5 probes getting caught out. Ay. Again, he's all in, warps in 2 more Stalkers. It's a decent army, don't get me wrong, but pushing up this ramp is going to be difficult. There is a force field. There is that force field available. Thankfully, Shameless is a little bit further back. Does go for the unload. Oh. One Stalker gets caught. Nice catch at a Shameless. Warps another sentry. Does have another force field. Let's go to Nomasis, go one more. Oh. That Dev gets caught instead. I spoke too soon. Yeah, nice saving the yet. Save initially. As time goes on, we're getting a second Immortal. Gateway's being rebuilt. The Oracle has yet to dive back in. I'm thinking about it. There is now a third Immortal though. Going Twilight counts behind this. Interesting. Another Caesar trap, but once again, UedSoldier pulls away properly this time. I say that, still gets 4 probes caught and 2 Stalkers. Immortals they also in. They take down another gateway. UedSoldier, he's gaining some ground at least. It does take down 2 gates. And now there's no production. Yeah, 0 production currently available for Shameless. He's rebuilding his gateway. Limited warp-ins. UedSoldier, can he break through? Oh. There was a window. There was a window, especially because there's 2 immortals that are not a part of this fight here for Shameless. There's now 4 immortals for UedSoldier. I do think that he could just force his way in here. I mean, I say that there are sentries, there are force fields. Shameless bold move does go across the map. Does go for the drop. And there is a moment of vulnerability here, but UedSoldier is not aware, right? He's not aware that Shameless abandoned the army. He's moving out with both immortals. UedSoldier going for his own drop into the main. Who distracts who? Who distracts? Walls down load. Both players. This wall prism is quite low. Can we get the prism? Not quite. Prism gets away. Meanwhile, the immortals are overwhelmed. They break through the main army. There's no recall. There's no energy for a recall. Recall's not available, and with that, this main base is going to be it's going to be destroyed. Like, he cannot defend the main. Oh, there it is. There's that recall just in time. Did barely gather enough energy. This buys enough time for Shameless to expand if he so chooses to. And there it is. The probe does move down. There's the expansion. Massive moment here for Shameless. The first to expand. That was 10 probe kills on the main base. UedSoldier down to 20 workers. Down 12 compared to Shameless. Ay, ay, ay. Some rough losses. And with that UedSoldier, I mean, he's been all in this entire time, but now there's even more pressure on him. Still has 4 immortals, it's impressive, but there's 3 to defend. We have force fields, we have sentries. No battery on the low ground. Technically, Shameless could abandon this position. Speaking of, force field on the ramp. Let's go. And Sentry moves in. Does force field. Do we recall? No recall yet. Hold on. We gotta hold on. Where are we going? Oh, does rotate down. Nice time with the prism. Yeah, prism gets sniped. Ooh, but he gets soaked in. He gets soaked in. He gets punished. No, almost every soldier goes down. That blink was not worth it. Sure, he sniped the prism, but he lost everything in the process. And with that, UedSoldier is punished. And he has nothing left. He has nothing left here. He's down to 3 immortals. He's being focused down. GG gets called, and Shameless takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Shameless takes the lead in the series again. UedSoldier, that was a bold move. A bold move to blink forward, to dive on the prism. He did one-shot the prism, but he lost every stalker as a result of that. Again, blink was on cooldown. He exposed himself. GG. GG, well played. With that, Shameless takes the lead in the series, and we're jumping to game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. Again, it was UedSoldier who was able to hold his own. Unfortunately, it was a shaky start. Remember, he got scouted. It was a delayed all-in. The Oracle was doing a lot of damage across the map with the stasis traps as well, more than what should have occurred, and even forced to recall a couple of times as well. Again, delaying a said all-in. So Shameless doing a lot to delay, to buy time. UedSoldier, unfortunately, was having a bit of a shakier defense. Not the worst defense, but still enough for Shameless to get an edge, to take a lead. Here we go. Here we go. We're jumping into game 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness. We have the green Protoss player, the green Protoss himself, for Team Little Fairy. It is UedSoldier. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Stouty Balls. It is Shameless. Let's go. Now let us go. We are settling into game number 2. Welcome to Winter Madness. Winter Madness is a larger map of the map pool, but the size of the map it doesn't really impact mirror matchups as much, or especially PvP, with the way that proxies do work and they do handle themselves. I mean, the size even means that, hey, maybe there's a higher chance it's going to be a proxy. Game 1, it was UedSoldier going for the 1-base all-in initially and initiating all the aggression and the first ultimate falling. This time, Shameless, he comes in for a regular scout. No proxy whatsoever out of our blue Protoss at least. I see in the chat, Kura saying, Stego confirmed. Oh, let's go. Let's go. We got him on board. continued. Now we're just waiting on TKO. As now UedSoldier, he does veer off with his scouting probe, and he will go for the proxy robo. This time from the beginning here, proxy robo, one base all in. This time we commit, and as we commit, a big shout out in the chat to W Maniac. My God, thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime for 2 months. For 2 months. Thank you for the support, for resubscribing. We appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content, the casting, the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy. Once again, I do apologize that we missed out on the RSL broadcast over the weekend. We might try to cast it again and to catch up on RSL, but it's also a co-stream, so it means a little bit less, right? Like it's a bit of a different beast, I should say, but regardless, thank you. Do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy. As we have our defensive robo here by Shameless, bearing in mind that this time Shameless didn't scout. This time Shameless is not aware of the proxy, somewhat. He knows that a pylon is missing, true. He knows that a pylon is missing, a pylon is nowhere to be found, so he's aware that there's potential for a proxy, and we do see Shameless attempting to scout here. It gets intercepted, one adept does get picked up. So nice pick off there by UedSoldier. Catching out the adept. Prism is moving in. And we'll see if UedSoldier can break through. Behind us, we have a safety battery here for Shameless. Yeah, Shameless, he rescouted with his probe, checking for an expand, even getting his own proxy pylon across the map. With his own defensive robot, I mean, this is meant to be a blind counter. It's a blind counter here out of Shameless. He already has the Immortal. Proxy pylon, this should be designed to warp in adepts, to warp into the main. Remember, 2 adepts can one-shot workers. Thankfully, I believe that is a full wall up here from UedSoldier. It's a full wall. Immortal has arrived, waddling in. He's coming. Here come the adepts. Unfortunately, again, there's a full wall, so there's some limitations here for the adepts. Nice pick up on the sentry. Yeah, that shouldn't have happened. Adepts are moving in. And we commit to the shade. Remember, 2 adepts, they can watch your workers. They get 1, they get 2. They get 1, 2, soon to be 3. 3, 4 probes going down. Nice damage. Getting into 5. Meanwhile, across the map, Shameless has still yet to break through. He's forcing defensive weapons at least. That's 5 workers going down. A nice start for UedSoldier. Fun fact, UedSoldier is still behind in the worker count and behind economically. That's a good way to equalize. Oh, moving up the ramp. Nice force field. Sentry goes down. A kill? It was not. Okay. Did save the sentry. Shameless buying time. Reinforces with those adepts. And he's just building up his own defensive immortals. And this is why this is meant to be a hard counter. Technically here we have an even immortal count, but Shameless has the high ground, has the better concave, and has battery support as well. So UedSoldier trying to break into this position that has a weaker setup. Oh. As he tries to move in. So you get the mortals to be punished. Nice juggling here by Shameless. Oh my god, saves the sentry, takes out one of the immortals. And now we're down to 2. And now UedSoldier is perpetually behind in the immortal counter. Does kill another 5 probes, that is true. Shameless now behind in workers. But Shameless took the better fight. And now he's breaking out. He's breaking out. Catching out one of the immortals. Shameless, he commits. Kills 1. Oh my gosh. And catching a Stalker, catching an immortal as well. There's nothing left. There's nothing here. We're down to 1 prism, 2 immortals. UedSoldier has been broken. Shameless dropping and finding the proxy. Oh, drop back into the main. Rover's depowered. And this is all that's really left here for UedSoldier. Down to 2 immortals, down to a prism, just micring his heart out. That does focus down 6 probes. 2 immortals, they one-shot workers. and that's nice damage, but at the end of the day, we have a massive army here. Phoenix is on the way. That will help if we had a solid ground army to support, but on its own, not like this. Shameless hallucination scouts just expands. Shameless, he just confirmed the Stargate and the building unit as well. UedSoldier was back in. Nope. Let's try to poke in. Natural base is being secured. And as the game progresses here, UedSoldier, he still needs something to recover in this game. If you can go into the mineral line and pick up some key workers while without losing any units, then maybe. Oh, no. Yeah, he commits. He does commit in. Nice lift. Molds over on the ground army. They don't kill any opposing immortals, but not a bad trade here for UedSoldier. Even going for the dive. Ooh, he does go for the dive. Prism will go down. Will not go down. Never mind. Ah, no. Does not kill the War Prism. Somehow, some way, Shameless keeps it alive. UedSoldier lost a Phoenix and a half. Glaives are on the way. That's for a 2-base all in. Not like this. Forward. Again, they pick up a couple of workers here. Shameless's probe count is still quite low, but it's the army that's a big concern, right? Shameless has been preserving his army from the beginning of the game, and now here he comes. A massive army to work with. Looking at the units tab here, we have 12 adepts, 4 immortals, double the immortal counts, an insane adept count here. Well, stalkers, a prisoner reinforced. Now the War Prism at least is low on HP, so maybe not the most reliable form of micro here with the War Prism. Is more vulnerable. That is true. But outside of that, it's going to be a tough hold. It's going to be a tough defense here. We're throwing down a wall of batteries. We got 3 batteries on the way, 4 batteries even. Sorry, 3 batteries in a pylon. But they're not going to matter. Not against 4 immortals. We go for the shade. He commits. Glaives is done. Does cancel the shade. Catching at the Archon. And the Phoenix, they try to lift, but there's still so many immortals on the ground. And GG gets called. GG gets called. Shameless will claim the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. A solid read out of Shameless, winding it all the way back. Remember, Shameless, what did he do? He went for a rowboat opener after scouting that a pylon was missing. Technically, he could have fallen behind or even been forced into an all-in himself, but he did read this as his opponent going for a committed proxy all-in and was correcting that assumption. As a result, that was a quote-unquote build order win for Shameless, because it means you have the same production, but one player has a defender's advantage, the other does not. So Shameless, he had faster reinforcements, he had that battery support as well, and the high ground as well. And with that, Shameless was able to defend and shut down the aggression. I will say, I will give some praise to UedSoldier when it comes to economic damage. If you recall, leading up to that big engagement, leading up to that big fight, he was doing a good job when it comes to shading into the bases, into the mineral lines, and killing probes and getting ahead worker-wise. That is true. At the same time, you could argue that because that was happening, his main army was weaker because he's spending his units to harass and less so to bolster his main force. So there is a bit of a give and take there. And potentially one of the reasons why he did struggle in that main fight. But GG. GG, well played. With that, Shameless, let's claim the first series, and we still have many more matches ahead of us. Up next, we're going to be breaking free from the mirror matchups Up next, Baby Marine versus Rebellion in a Terran versus Protoss matchup. Let's go.